Hi, my name is Sriram. Metric number is DIL193047. Today, my group is gonna present about Chapter 8, responding to personal and work-related stress. Stress factors in your life. Stress refers to two simultaneous events, an external stimulus called a stressor. The physical and emotional response to that stimulus is anxiety, fear, muscle tension, surging heart rate, and so on. Environmental stress at work may be caused by noise, safety concerns, windowless settings, long hours, or unrealistic deadlines. Some bodily rate stress can be attributed to poorly designed work areas that produce eye strain, shoulders tension, or lower back discomfort. A great deal of the mental stress we encounter every day is caused by our negative thinking and faulty reasoning. Stress can be a powerful stimulus for growth if it motivates you to do your best work. It can build within you the energy and desire needed to perform effectively. Next is responding to stress. Stress responses consist of three elements. First, the event of thought stressor that triggers stress. Second, your perception of it. Third, your response to it. Most of us do not take the time to train our minds and bodies so that we build our capacity to handle the stress in our lives. When people are under stress, surge in the stress hormones, adrenaline, and cortisol strongly affected their reasoning. That's all from me, and I'll pass it to next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and hi to Madam Farah. I'm Nadira binti Zaidin, DIL 193046. So now I will continue with the major causes of stress. There are some points under this topic. The first one, I will talk about the work and life balance. Some say the pace at work is so dizzying that it takes them hours to finally relax after the workday ends. The second point is long hours or irregular schedule. Evening shifts, rotating shifts, 12 hours workdays, and weekend work often add stress to workers' lives. A growing number of workers call workloads excessive and say that they are stressed by increased pressure on the job. Years of multitasking and workaholism have left workers across the global economic and geographic spectrum feeling exhausted. Now, the third point is change. Consider employees who have been accustomed to work alone and now work with a team, or employees who have held jobs that require little contact with the public and now must spend a great deal of time with clients, patients, or customers. Management personnel above you are trying to cope with their own high-pressure responsibilities, so you are not likely to get much emotional hand-holding from them. The pace of change is not likely to slow down. Resisting change or hanging onto old habits and beliefs requires the investment of a great deal of emotional energy. So the next point is multitasking. While multitasking is common for most people, research finds that it can be counterproductive and can actually lower productivity. It often takes up to 25 minutes to return to an abandoned task, and we are now living in a complex, fast response world, and our challenge is to immediately prioritize and address whatever task is most critical. So now I will talk about the work environment, which is the place of a person to work, such as open office, cubicle, or remote location matters less because computers and mobile communication technologies are at the center of our lives. Now I will talk about the ergonomics work environment. Ergonomic work environment is a technique for adapting the work environment to the human body. Any communication technologies are at the center of our lives. Now I will talk about the ergonomics work environment. Ergonomic work environment is a technique for adapting the work environment to the human body. Anyone who spends hours in front of a computer should become knowledgeable about the basics of ergonomics such as eye level, arm and hand position, and posture to understand how something as simple as sitting can either generate energy or create fatigue and long term. often irreversible pain and medical problems. That's all from me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Saifuddin bin Abdullah. My matric number is DIC 191007. So I want to talk about noise pollution. Noise is unwanted sounds such as the roar of traffic, your neighbor's loud music, or loud voice of the person who works nearby. Second it is the controllability of noise rather than its intensity that often is the greatest irritant. Third is if you have an exceptionally loud voice, get in the habit of speaking more softly, especially in open space. And many people tend to unconsciously talk louder when they're on the phone. Please post a reminder next to your phone to lower your voice while talking on the phone. If you must listen to music at your desk, keep it low or use headphone if your company allows them. So lastly, when you ask someone to quiet down, do it as politically as possible. Okay, so next is incompetent leader. So, point is, but technical superstars may be poor supervisors, and studies indicate that incompetent supervisors are a major source of stress in the workplace. So next is work and family transitions. First is transition can be defined as the experience of being forced to give up something and face a change. Second is uncertainty about the future is a major trigger of the stress process. Third is chronic workers are more likely to engage in dangerous habits such drinking, smoking, drug use, and overeating. And the lastly is rumination. First, the process of replaying an incident over and over in our minds. Lastly is recurring instruction of thoughts about negative events can result in loss of concentration, loss of sleep, and feelings of depression. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Imran Aqil. My matric number is DIC 191002 and I will explain the stress management strategies. Okay, so there is no one size fits all way to reduce stress. You have to become aware of what is best for you, what is best work for you. So first thing is mindfulness, involves paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally. Second, the idea is to quiet the mind and heighten awareness. So the third, keep in mind that the success of mindfulness is to be in the moment and maintaining awareness of your thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations. Second point of managing strategies stress is sleep. Growth hormones and repairs enzymes are released and various chemicals restorations process occur during sleep. This explains why children need considerably more sleep than adults. So third strategy is guidelines to improve sleep recovery. First is develop a sleep ritual. Go to bed and get up at the same time as often as possible. Second, mentally wind down before going to bed. Avoid stressful activities. Third, avoid central nervous system stimulants such as caffeine, chocolates, alcohol, or nicotine before bedtime. Fourthly, keep your bedroom cool, well ventilated, and dark. So the third strategy is exercise. the number one treatment for stress and tension because it releases pleasure, including inducing chemicals called endorphins. So about 70% of Americans do not exercise regularly and nearly 40% are not active at all. So the fifth strategy is solitude. Those who are constantly in touch with others can benefit from therapeutic effect of solitude. Solitude can be viewed as an emotional breather, a restorer of energy, and a form of rest similar to sleep. The sixth strategy is meditation, a relaxation technique that slows your pulse, respiration, and brainwave activity and lowers your blood pressure. It produces feelings of containment, calmness, and heightened awareness. Meditation is sometimes called the smart person's bubble bath. It trains and conditions and in mind in the same way exercise trains and conditions the body. The last strategy is resilience, being capable of bouncing back and you are confronted with stressful situations. When people have conditions in themselves, in one another, and in an organization, it motivates people to push the boundaries and strive to achieve more without fear of making mistakes. So that's all from me. Thank you.
So, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Iskandar Zaini, bin Cahayur Rahman, DIC 191001. So, I will present about using positive psychology to combat stress. So, first one is happiness. Happiness is more than just a mood, and it is a way of living and working. And second is we can use laugh and have fun. These strategies is meaning laughter is a gentle exercise of the body, is a form of inner jogging, and while having fun while you are on the job does not exclude being serious about your work and caring about doing a good job. So next is commit a random act of kindness. So participants who were told to complete 5 acts of kindness to others feel much happier throughout the courses of the day, and they continue to feel happier in the day of the following the experiment. So lastly, we can combat stress with positive such as regain or let go of control. Because another way people experience stress in when they feel they have no control in a situation. So needless worry about things that outside of control is not only a waste of time. It robs people of energy and time, and that can put towards other. So more productive thing they can control. So that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum, madam. My name is Ilya Natasha binti Manajun, DRL 190334. I will be continuing talking about coping with psychology disorders. So, if you are under stress day after year, your hormonal response never shuts down. So basically, what we are going to talk about is anxiety. What is anxiety? Anxiety is a condition which intense feelings of apprehension are long-standing and usually disruptive. Anxiety becomes a disorder only when it persists and prevents you from leading a normal life. Basically, anxiety is a kerisauan yang melampau, and it is basically a phobia of irrational fear in terms of situations or objects. And if not left treatable, if you do not treat this type of disorder, think it will get worse to the point where you will get panic attack. So second, we have depression, which is a mood disorder, not a simple sadness. It is also a major risk factor for suicide. It primarily affects workers in their most productive years, which are the 20s through 40s. Symptoms such as withdrawal, overwhelming sadness or hopelessness may persist for a week or month. So basically, depression can hit anyone. It doesn't matter if it's adult or kids or baby, it doesn't matter. It happens to everyone. And it could also happen with or without trauma or the source that leads you to having a depression. Because some people can have a great life, a normal life, but still have depression. So if not treatable, if you do not treat this disorder, we have like level of depression. So we have MDD, major depressive disorder, if I'm not mistaken. So that will provide you with certain pills. So for burnout, it is basically a gradually intensifying pattern of physical, psychological, and behavioral dysfunction that evolves in response to a continuous flow of stress. Symptoms of burnout usually increased detachment from co-workers, customers or clients, increased tardiness, absenteeism, cynicism, and moodiness, increased disorientation like forgetfulness or low concentration, increased personal problems like drugs or alcohol abuse, decreased social contact or marital discord. So basically, burnout is when you are too tired and then you begin to feel like tired, out of control, overwhelming, like because too many things happen at once, or because you've been working too hard, and it happens to everyone, which is very normal. So for the popular therapy options, employee assistance programs, EAPs, aim at overcoming anxiety, depression, burnout, alcohol abuse, and drug abuse. Basically pills like escitalopram, alprazolam, and more. And also 12-step programs for help with drug and alcohol addiction, eating disorder, and gambling addiction. That's all for me. Thank you.